Hey yo, what's good everyone? Welcome to my channel, Zdravstvuyte, меня зовут Mauro, and today we're gonna check out History of Russia Part 4. Четыре. This is gonna be amazing, We reacted to already 3 parts of this. We left off in the First World War, if I'm not remember wrong. It's been a couple of weeks, so I'm not so sure. This has been a nice journey. I hope you're enjoying these reactions with me. We're gonna check out this one now, and then we still have the 5th part to check out. So I'm gonna ask you already right now, when we will reach 100 likes, I'm gonna do the 5th and last part. But yeah, right now, without any further ado, let's check it out.
(1825). Victory over Napoleon had confirmed
Okay, so we left off at Napoleon, not the First World War, sorry guys.
Russia's status as a world power. But there was discontent within Russia amongst intellectuals and army officers, some of whom had formed secret societies to plot the overthrow of Russia's autocratic system. When Emperor Alexander was succeeded, not as expected by his brother Constantine, but by a younger brother Nicholas, one of these secret societies used the confusion to launch a military coup. But the Decembrist revolt, as it became known, was defeated by loyalist troops, and the ringleaders were hanged. Others were sent into internal exile in Siberia. This was to become a common sentence for criminals and political prisoners in Tsarist Russia. Nicholas went on to adopt an official doctrine of orthodoxy, autocracy, and national...
That's really cruel. I mean, I remember in Italy when, when people would get exiled, you can think already about Dante. It was like when he was exiled from Florence, he was sent to Ravenna, if I'm not mistaken, right? Wait, was he sent to Ravenna? Anyway, he was sent in the north, yeah. But yeah, it's still a beautiful place to stay. It's not your home country, because it was its own country. Every decade at that time was still, its own state. And yeah, they always resent it, but at least it's better than Siberia. I mean, nothing against Siberia right now, but I think back then you didn't have like the heating system that you have now. Oh my god, it would be so crazy. I don't know. I would die in Siberia if it was at that time. Oh my god.
The state was to rest on the pillars of church, Tsar, and the Russian national spirit, a clear rejection of the values of European liberalism. In the Caucasus, border clashes with Persia led to a war which ended in complete Russian victory. The Treaty of Turkmenchay forced Persia to cede all its territories in the region to Russia and pay a large indemnity. Russian support for Greece in its war of independence against the Ottomans led to war between Russia and the Ottoman Empire.
We should make some reactions on the Ottoman Empire as well. It's really cool.
Victory brought further gains in the Black Sea region. A Polish revolt, led by young army officers, was crushed by Russian troops. Alexander Pushkin, Russia's greatest poet, was shot in a duel, and 2 days later died from his wounds. Nicholas sent troops to help put down a Hungarian revolt against Austrian rule. The emperor's willingness to help suppress liberal revolts won him the nickname the gendarme, or policeman, of Europe. Russia's first major railway was opened, connecting St. Petersburg and Moscow. Alexander Herzen, a leading intellectual critic of Russia's autocracy, emigrated to London, where he continued to call for reform in his homeland. He'd later be described as the father of Russian socialism. The Ottoman Empire, now known as the sick man of Europe, reacted to further Russian provocations by declaring war. The Russian Black Sea Fleet inflicted a crushing defeat on the Turks at the Battle of Sinope. But Britain and France, alarmed at Russia's southern expansion and potential control of Constantinople, declared war on Russia. The Allies landed troops in Crimea and besieged the naval base of Sevastopol, which fell after a grueling year-long siege. In the Baltic, British and French warships blockaded the Russian capital, St. Petersburg. Russia was forced to sign a humiliating peace, withdraw its forces from the Black Sea, and put on hold plans for further southern expansion. Nicholas I was succeeded by his son, Alexander II. The Crimean War had exposed Russia's weakness. The country lagged far behind its European rivals in industry, infrastructure, and military power. So Alexander, unlike his father, decided to embrace reform. The most obvious sign of Russia's backwardness was serfdom. According to the 1857 census, more than a third of Russians were serfs, forced to work their master's land with few rights, restrictions on movement, and their status passed down to their children. They were slaves in all but name. In 1861, Alexander II abolished serfdom in Russia. He was hailed as the liberator. But in reality, most former serfs remained trapped in servitude and poverty. Alexander's reforms would continue with the creation of the ZEMSTVA, provincial assemblies with authority over local affairs, including education and social welfare. In the Far East, Russia forced territorial concessions from a weakened China, leading to the founding of Vladivostok, Russia's major Pacific port. Another uprising by Poles and Lithuanians against Russian rule was once more crushed by the Russian army. In the Caucasus, Russia's long and brutal war against local tribes came to an end, with their leaders swearing oaths of loyalty to the Tsar. In Central Asia, the Russian Empire was gradually expanding southwards. Russian armies defeated the Emirate of Bukhara and the Khanate of Khiva, and by the 1880s, Russia had conquered most of what was then called Turkestan, today the countries of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan. Imperial rivalry in Central Asia between Russia and Britain led to the Great Game, a 19th century version of the Cold War. Centered on Afghanistan, diplomats and spies on both sides tried to win local support, extend their own influence, and limit the expansion of their rival, while avoiding direct military confrontation. Russia decided to sell Alaska to America for $7.2 million.
Wow.
Many Americans thought it was a waste of money. Gold and oil were only discovered there much later.
Yeah.
Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace was published, still regarded as one of the world's greatest works of literature. The late 19th century was a cultural golden age for Russia, a period of literary greats and outstanding composers. Russia, in support of nationalist revolts in the Balkans against Ottoman rule, went to war with the Ottoman Empire once more. Russian troops crossed the Danube, then with Bulgarian help, fought to secure the vital Shipka Pass. Then they launched a bloody 5-month siege of Plevna in Bulgaria. Russia and her allies finally won victory, with their troops threatening Constantinople itself. But at the Congress of Berlin, Russia bowed to international pressure and accepted limited gains, in a settlement that also led to independence for Romania, Serbia, Montenegro, and later Bulgaria. Meanwhile, within Russia, radical political groups were increasingly frustrated by Alexander II's limited reforms. There were several failed attempts to assassinate the emperor, but as he prepared to approve new constitutional reforms, he was killed in St. Petersburg by a bomb thrown by members of the People's Will, one of the world's first modern terrorist groups. This act of violence would lead only to a new era of repression. Did you know all Epic History TV videos are made by just one person? With a little help from me, Charles Nove. We would sincerely appreciate your support at our Patreon page to help.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I love this channel. I love this channel and I love history. So I'm guessing the next one is the last one. So I'm guessing it just will show us the Russian Revolution, the Industrial Revolution, and also I'm not sure how is it gonna make fit everything that happened, you know, with Russia during World War I, World War II, the Cold War, then of course in the middle of all that the Soviet Union, and then Russia today. I don't know. So we will see. We will check out the 5th part when we will get this fucking fly out of my side. And yeah, I was saying we will get the 5th part when I will get 100 likes on this video. Oh my god, it makes me impossible to focus. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it anyway. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Also leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.